This is a brief professional development on text-dependent writing. This is in correspondence with the Alabama Comprehensive Assessment Program, the ACAP. Not only do we need to ensure that we are giving quality instruction, reading instruction, and writing instruction, but we also need to make sure that we have the end in mind as well. We want to make sure that our students know what's expected of them on these standardized tests, make sure that they know how to meet the requirements. So I think that's very important. That's what we're going to focus on here today. So the overall objective for this PD session is to equip you with the necessary knowledge, tools, and instructional strategies to improve students' academic achievement and growth that will be reflected on the Alabama Comprehension Assessment Program. So what exactly is text-dependent writing? The TDW is a task that is presented with a text or set of text. This task directs the students to write an essay response that analyzes the text by drawing inferences and using evidence from the text as support. The TDW elicits an extended, detailed response about the text. It integrates the student's reading, writing, and language skills. In response to a TDW, the student must write a narrative, informative, explanatory, or argumentative essay based on the text. So we don't know what type of question, what type of response is going to be on the ACAP exam. So we need to make sure that our students know how to write each type of writing. They know how to answer these questions. So what does a successful TDW look like? Well, the student demonstrates deep understanding of the text. So that's comprehension. That's something we work on daily in the classroom. The student thoroughly analyzes the text to support claims, opinions, and ideas. They're able to go back into the text and support their opinion, their answer. The student uses a strong organizational structure that includes an effective introduction, body, and conclusion. We're doing that already. The student uses main ideas, details, examples, quotes, and facts from the text as evidence to support the response. I encourage you, after you read a book, a passage, or a paragraph in the classroom, have those comprehension questions at the end of it, those higher order thinking questions. Have those questions that require them to go back into the text and support their answer. Don't just let them give you a one-word answer. Ask them why. How do you know that? Go back into the text. Highlight that evidence. The student uses precise vocabulary and language. The student uses proper grammar and punctuation. And then along here, it requires students to demonstrate an in-depth understanding of the text read, connects writing to reading, measures how well the student can use what is read to create a response based on evidence, requires integration of the reading, writing, and language skills that are defined in our course of study. And then it's also anchored in standard W9, draws evidence from literary or informational text to support analysis, reflection, and research. And then the demand required of the student's reading and writing skills is similar to the demand required by the student to be college and career ready. Here's an example video. I'll let you watch this on your own time. It's pretty lengthy. I have pushed this out to you, so I do recommend watching this first before pushing these other things out to your students. This video itself is full of information. It has some retired questions from the ACAP. It'll give passages and then also demonstrate examples of maybe a past student, and what they scored. You can score between a 0 and a 4, 4 being the best, meets all the requirements. So this is really good for students to see as examples of, okay, what are they looking for? What is the requirement? I want to push that out to you, and then you can watch it, and you can also push this out to your students as well. They're probably not going to watch the entire hour, but it's good to stop and show them what it will look like. Okay, but what does this require from the student? Students will need to be able to demonstrate the ability to analyze a text as well as the ability to write skillfully. In writing a narrative, the student must be able to connect details from the source text to the narrative. In writing an informative, explanatory, or argumentative essay, the student must be able to use evidence from the source text to support the response. The student's writing sample must be an extended written response with strong organizational structure. And here are some resources available to you, and it's going to help prepare students for the text-dependent writing portion. Here's an online video that briefly explains the purpose of the text-dependent writing portion as well as the functionality of the item in the online testing environment. I think it's really good maybe to ease some testing anxiety for students to see what the site looks like beforehand. And I've pushed this out to you. So this is a hyperlink. You can click on it and let the students sort of play with it. Start here and maybe tell them what to do and see if they can find it and just navigate through. Over here, you have writing tools, reference sheets, signing in to an online test. You can do a little mock test. So this is excellent for them to look at. Here are some other items, online tools training. They're able to click through here, practice signing in. Well, I've got the code. Practice signing in, and then they can navigate the website. Writer's checklist. This document outlines expectations for students when writing a response, and it's available to students in the online testing environment, so they will get the writer's checklist on their screen. But I also provide them a writer's checklist like in class when we are doing writing assignments. So if we're working on a narrative, I'll go ahead and print them off the narrative writer's checklist. So this file is broken down into its grades. So let's take a look at the narrator writer's checklist for grades 4 through 5. That way they're used to this and they can go back and check themselves after they've written. So they can make sure they address all parts of the writing task. They include connections from the source materials. They stay organized, use correct language, a variety of sentence types. They correct their errors. We need to make sure we're practicing revising and editing in the classroom. And make sure they reread the narrative to make sure it's clear and well organized. So I want them to know how to use this. So they have this all year long, but then they're able to use it on the ACAB as well. And then the rubric, you can pull up and look at and show the kids what's expected, what earns a 0, what earns a 4. So like I said, it's got grade levels in here, and it's broken down by narrative, informative, argumentative. So you can pull up all of them really to see, because you don't know what type of writing they're going to get. So they need to know about all of them. Okay, so here's the rubric for a grade 4 narrative. You're able to see what makes a 4 and 3, 2, 1, and a 0. So students like seeing this. They like to see what they need to do to earn that 4. And then you can look at all types of writing over here. Within that folder, there's also example questions, the retired questions. That's really good to practice with in the classroom beforehand, so they just get a feel for it. But along with making sure we have good instructional, reading instruction in the classroom, teaching those comprehension skills and writing skills, I just think it's really good for them to be able to practice this and just have the end in mind. So